Hey guys, it's Len at Lionstrong Athletics. Whether you're a regular person, an avid lifter, or an athlete, you might have weak shoulders and weak rotator cuffs. This weakness lessens the amount that you can lift, it reduces your performance in sport, and it affects your everyday life, causing pain and discomfort when you sleep or maybe when you're working. So today I want to go over 2 common exercises that are used for rotator cuff strength and how you can alter them slightly to advance that strength and bulletproof your shoulders. But first, go hit the like and subscribe button so you can stay up to date on our most recent videos. Now, the 2 exercises that we're going to go over, and they're commonly used for rotator cuff strengthening, is an internal and external rotation. An external rotation, I am rotating around the elbow, bringing the weight from inside my body to outside my body. An internal rotation is the exact opposite. I'm still rotating around my elbow, and I'm bringing it from outside my body, inside my body. Let's talk about the external rotation first. With this, I'm using the muscles located on the back of my shoulder called the infraspinatus and teres minor. Those 2 muscles we're just going to refer to as back rotator cuff muscles. Bring my elbow around like this and rotate me externally. You can see them contracting in the back. Internal rotation, where I'm bringing that weight from out to in, use a muscle called our subscapularis, which is located kind of inside our armpit. We're going to refer to that as the front rotator. So internal is working our front rotator, external is working our back rotator muscles. So let's get into those exercises. Now, to demonstrate the external rotation, I'm going to be using bands, but you can very well do this on a cable machine as well, whatever feels comfortable for you. Now, a typical external rotation, I would line up myself perpendicular to the force. I'd have my elbow tucked tight, and I would rotate around like this. This is a fantastic exercise, and I recommend that you try it. But what this exercise lacks is tension through the stretch or through the contraction of these muscles. What I mean by that is, right now, I am perpendicular to the force. This is where I hold the most tension on this exercise. So if I turn myself this way, I've lost tension, and I'm no longer working that muscle. I have tension in the middle, and when I turn it all the way, I actually lose a little bit of tension here as well. So really, this exercise keeps tension through the middle of the muscle. But in real life, when we're playing sports, or maybe I'm sleeping a certain way, I'm never kind of lined up perfectly in the middle, am I? There's always some weird position that causes pain or discomfort. So I want to train that disadvantaged position to get stronger where it matters most. So instead of having this lined up in the middle, what I want to do is try to force it to line up on my stretch. So to do that, I'm actually going to face away from the force. I'm still going to keep this elbow tight, but now I have tension while that muscle is stretched. And this is what matters. This is a position where maybe in sports I get hit this way, or I'm trying to grab something. I need to have strength in this disadvantaged position for my muscle to be able to successfully complete the task without getting injured. So you're going to line up with that elbow tight, and then I'm going to push it forward, just like that, keeping tension, and bring it back into that stretch. Pushing forward, keeping tension. And now I'm strengthening my back rotator cuffs from a disadvantaged position so I can handle things in the future. Now I also want to tackle the contracted position too. So what I'm going to do is actually face the other way, where I don't have tension here, but I have a ton of tension on the contraction. This is relevant to sports. Maybe I'm throwing a ball. I have my rotator cuff in this position to throw it. It makes me prepared to do something. Maybe in real life, something falls and I need to catch it. I'm catching it here. I very rarely catch it in this easy, stable position all the time. It's always in a position that's tough. And so if we can strengthen those positions that are tough, then we can bulletproof our shoulders. So again, we're going to be facing forward. I'm pulling it back as far as I can. I'm trying to contract these rotator cuff muscles and then let it come forward. You lose tension very fast on this one, so you don't have to come forward all the way. You can kind of feel where you lose that tension. So I want you to give it a shot. You're going to be in the stretch position, 10 to 15 reps. Turn that around in the contracted position, 10 to 15 reps. Now let's move on to internal rotation. And this one trains our front rotator cuff. How we would typically set this up is, again, I'm kind of lined up perpendicular to the force. I'm at 90 degrees, and I'm going to be pulling this across my body. And again, this is a great exercise. But rarely in life am I facing something where I'm lined up this perfectly. In fact, especially in sports, I'm often lined up with my elbow back in throwing sports, or if I'm maybe making a contact sport, I'm hitting like this, or I'm hitting with my arm open, and that's kind of where we're at risk. So if we can train that at-risk area, we can get stronger and bulletproof those shoulders. So what we're going to do here, instead of lining up on that nice 90 degrees, we're actually going to open right up and face away from the force. Now I'm at a disadvantaged position. My front rotator cuff is stretched, and I'm going to learn how to contract it in that position. So I'm already in a disadvantaged position, and I'm going to contract out of it and get stronger and better at that motion. So right now that muscle is going from a stretch, and I'm pulling that over. So that hits the stretch portion. Then we want to hit the contract portion, where I'm going to face the force. I'm going to make sure my elbow is tight, and I'm going to rotate around it into my body. And now we're training the contraction portion of that front rotator cuff. So same as last time, facing away. We're going to do 10 to 15 reps, focusing on the stretch, and then I'm going to face the force and do 10 to 15 reps, focused on the contraction. Now we want to make sure that your shoulders are progressing and then you're actually gaining strength in these exercises. If you're on a cable machine, that means bumping that up to the next level once it gets too easy to accomplish 10 to 15 reps. If you're using bands like me, what you can do to increase the intensity is walk out a little further, and to decrease the intensity, walk in a little bit further. Once this band gets too easy, I have the option to grab harder bands, something a little bit thicker that might provide more resistance. And then I would progressively work my way further and further away. Once I get very far on that, I would opt for something even bigger. And that's how we can progressively overload and get our shoulders stronger. Now, it's important to remember that these exercises are training a disadvantaged position, because that, whether we're lifting or playing sports, that is where weakness is exposed and damage occurs, which is going to cause you pain. So this is the whole reason we're doing this, to get ahead of it or to stop it if you're already in pain. Now, if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Let me know which exercise was your favorite. And if you're looking for a program, head to my website. I have a beginner program on there. I break down the exercises for you, how you should be doing it, what kind of weights, what rep ranges. You can join the Pride today.